Hello, it's Sarah here from Purple Creative, and me and Hurricane, my dog, thought we would come to you in this kind of bleak time and talk to you about the fun topic of search engine optimization. So we're probably all sat at home, maybe got a little bit more time on our hands, and following on from Emma's great video earlier in the week on social media, we decided that we could use some time to talk to you about search engine optimization, otherwise known as SEO, and some quick things that you could be doing in this time to make sure that your website performs as well as it can. So one of the main questions that we get asked about search engine optimization is, why is my website not on the first page of Google? Well, this is a massive question, and this is the first thing that we're going to look at. Firstly, what would you like to be on the first page of Google for? So what I would like you to do is spend this isolation period, or wherever you're working from, to think about the keywords that you'd like your website to show up for in Google. So for example, I would like to be found for web design North Yorkshire, graphic design North Yorkshire, social media marketing North Yorkshire. Those are the phrases that I think will generate sales for Purple, the main one being website design North Yorkshire. Stick a piece of paper on your fridge, start jotting these down of everything that you'd like to be found for in Google, and start thinking about those words. Ask friends and family, ask your Facebook followers, if you were looking for me, what would you type into Google? This is the biggest part of search engine optimization, is finding out what keywords you want to be found for. Oh, bye Hurricane, we've bored him already. Once you've found your keywords, the next most important thing is to find related keywords. These are often called LSI keywords, which stands for latent semantic indexing, not very user-friendly, or long-tail keywords, but for the purpose of this video we'll call them LSI keywords. Your LSI keywords are keywords that are connected to your main keyword. So for example, if I was selling yoga classes, a connected LSI keyword might be, what would I wear to yoga? What should I eat before yoga? What yoga poses are good for beginners? What yoga poses are good for backache? So they're keywords that are connected to your main keyword. Now there are multiple ways that you can find these out. You can find these out by typing your main keyword into Google and seeing what comes up at the very bottom of Google. So you've often seen those suggestions at the bottom. Or you can use a website that myself, Scarlett, Emma and Jess absolutely love and swear by, and I'm going to share it with you now. If you are interested in SEO, there is an absolute rock star of SEO called Neil Patel, and he has a website that's brilliant. It's called Uber Suggest. I don't know whether you can see it there. If you have a bit of time on your hands this whatever you're calling it, this work from home time, or if your business is shut, I would highly recommend going to neilpatel.com and starting to have a play. Put in the keywords that you want to be found for. One of the most amazing things through this website is that for free you'll find out how many monthly searches that search is generating, so you'll be able to see if it's a popular keyword. You'll also be able to see related keywords and how they compare, which will help you start to generate this big bank of keywords that you want to be found for. Once you've found your keywords, what do you do with those? This is when you need to head to your website. Hopefully all of you will have a website that you can edit yourselves and start tweaking the content, but all of those keywords and phrases that you've just written down on that piece of paper on your fridge need to be in your website, and they need to be written about in detail. If you think about what Google's job is, their main job is to give the user the best possible experience. So they're wanting, if I search for yoga classes, they're wanting to give me the best website that it thinks is going to help me the most. So it's going to give me the web page that's got the most content on it, that talks about yoga, that's knowledgeable about yoga, that's going to tell me about what to eat before yoga, everything like that. So start making sure that your keywords and phrases are used on your website. This doesn't all have to be in your main pages. This can be on blog posts. Blog posts or news pages are a great way to start padding out your content. You could do jargon busters. You could start writing news posts about different phrases that you've found. Obviously, you don't have to use all of your phrases. You don't want to be found for cheap, free, or your competitors' names. But hopefully there's some keywords in there that you think, yeah, that's not written on my website anywhere. I probably should start using those phrases more. Another thing that you can do in this kind of period that we're in now is look at your page titles and descriptions. Now, this isn't the most fun task, but it's a quick task that I think you'll get some satisfaction from doing. Now, your page titles and descriptions are what shows when you Google something. So if you search for Purple Creative Studio, don't know how well this is showing, you can see your page titles and descriptions coming through. Every single page on your website should have an individual title and description. Each title has between 50 to 60 characters for you to play with, and each page description has up to 160 characters for you to play with. And these should be as individual and unique as your pages. What these need to do as well is to entice somebody who is viewing the search results to click on your website. If they see your website and 3 of your competitors, what's going to make what shows here make them click through? So start thinking about the words you want to use, start thinking about some statistics and figures that you want to include in here, and make these page titles and descriptions as enticing as possible. If you don't provide page titles and descriptions for each of your pages, Google's going to automatically pull some through for you, and these might not be as fun and exciting as you want them to be. It's definitely a place as well where you can put some more of your keywords in to help Google know what you're talking about. There are also some quick wins that you can do in this time. Firstly, make sure that your website has an SSL certificate. This is something that just shows that your website is secure. This is probably something that you won't be able to do yourself, but you may need to go to your web developer to do. So it might be worth just dropping an email to your web developer and checking that you have an SSL certificate on the site. If you're not sure, if you have a little padlock in the top browser, then yes, you have an SSL certificate. If you don't, I'd highly recommend you get one. You can also check at this time if your website is mobile friendly. Google looks at the mobile version of your website first before it looks at your desktop website. So if you do not have a mobile friendly version of your site, Google will penalise you in rankings. Most people nowadays do have a mobile friendly website, but it is worth just triple checking, open it on your mobile, and if it's not as friendly as you want it to be, contact your web developer. My final point for today is to start looking at backlinks. Backlinks is when other websites link to your website, and it's a way of showing Google that the content that you have on your website is good content because somebody else is linking to it. So there are plenty of backlink checkers available online. Just Google backlink checker, pop your website address in, and it should bring you up a list of all the backlinks you've got. Don't pay for any of these services that we've spoken about today. You should be able to find a free alternative for all of them. If you are struggling, give us a message. If you check your backlinks and see how many you've got, you may be surprised, often people are. One of the things that you can do in this time is look to increase your backlinks. So the more sites we have linking to us, the better. So maybe contact other businesses that you work with, maybe different suppliers, anyone that you think would be happy to put a link on your to your website on theirs. You could write a blog post to go on somebody else's website with a link back to yours. You could comment on forums, you could create a YouTube channel. Anything to increase your backlinks to your website is going to help you with search engine optimization. So I hope that's been helpful. It's a very weird thing to do from your own house, a video about search engine optimization. But I firmly believe that it's something that all of us can do. There's no dark magic to SEO. It's no sort of trickery. It's just good quality content that other websites want to link to. And hopefully in this time that we're living in at the moment, you might be able to put the kettle on and spend even half an hour or an hour looking at your website and thinking what content could be improved. So as a quick summary, find your keywords, look at your long tail keywords or your LSI keywords, include these keywords in your content everywhere throughout your website, and if you don't think they're mentioned enough, include them in blog posts and things like that. Look at your page titles and descriptions, make sure you have an SSL certificate, make sure your website's mobile friendly, and work on backlinks. If you need a hand with anything that we've spoken about today, please feel free to just drop me a message. But I hope that you have fun editing your websites to help them be found naturally in Google.